There are 4 ways to get rich in this world. Today I'm going to share with you guys what those 4 ways are and which one is the absolute easiest. I cannot wait to share this with you guys today. Good day, subscribers! Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're doing a personal finance related video called 4 Ways to Get Rich. And today I'm going to be discussing what those 4 ways are. Now, how do I even say what is rich as far as wealth? Obviously, we're talking about wealth and we're talking about money. There's other types of rich ways. You can be rich in the heart and all those types of things, but we're talking strictly about money today. So, how do I decipher this? Well, most people, and I'm speaking generally about America, most people fall into the middle class. That's actually the class I fall into. I fall into the middle class. Then you have the next big chunk of people falls into the poor people. Then you have about 5% of the population, which I would consider actually rich. Then you have 1% of the population, which I would consider super rich, ridiculous, like buying yachts and flying on their personal private jets and doing all types of things like that. So those are the different, we're talking about that top 5%. How can you break through into that? So I've broken it down like this. The hardest way absolutely to get into that class is inheriting money, in my opinion, because you only have a 1 in 20 chance of being born to parents that are in that class. And then they have to actually stay in that class, and then you have to somehow inherit the money when they die. That's the absolute hardest way, in my opinion, because you can't control that at all. Whatever happens, happens when you're born. So for most of us, that's not a realistic thing. We're never going to be rich by having parents that are rich and just giving us the money when they die, because it's unrealistic for most of us. So that's the most unrealistic. The number 2 way is to climb the corporate ladder. This is the second hardest way, in my opinion, climbing the corporate ladder, because you need to climb the corporate ladder at generally a very big company. You know, a company that's bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue, if not billions of dollars. You need to climb that corporate ladder and compete with a lot of people that are going to be competing for that same position. Because a lot of people want to be CEO or CFO or COO, and there are a lot of talented people you're going to be competing with. So it's a very hard way, and you have to have, tons of college education and those types of things, because in the corporate world, that's very, very important. They look at that on your resumes and whatnot. I cover public companies. I've looked into thousands of public companies over my time. I can tell you there have been very few CEOs, CFOs, those super high executives that on the paper it didn't say they had a college, bachelor's degree or a master's degree or something like that. The only ones who were ever on that list were ones who actually founded the company as well. So to get rich by climbing the corporate ladder, it's a hard road, but it can be done, and I've known people who have done it. Now, the next way, which is the second easiest way, is actually investing in stocks or investing in real estate, but having your money make you money. Now, of course, with stocks, there's always going to be risk involved with it, because you can also lose money. You can also lose a lot of money with stocks, because a stock can drop 20% in a day or 30% in a day, but it can also go up 20 or 30% in a day. So wealth can definitely be added or lost with stocks in the stock market. And if you do very well over a very long course of time, you will generally, if you've ever used a compounding calculator, that's a really fun thing. You guys should research compound calculator and type in, if I get an 8% return on $100,000 per year for the next 30 years, what's that add up to at the end? It is amazing, the numbers of compounding and how insane compounding is. Same thing with real estate. Now, real estate, there's not as much risk involved, but at the same time, you're generally not going to get a huge return on real estate. But you can definitely build wealth, because you buy one house and then you rent that out and you're getting an income. And then you buy another house eventually, fix that up, and then get even a higher rental income. And hopefully the rental incomes are always well above what the mortgage is on that house. And eventually you end up owning that house, and you're still renting it out. And you can just go 2 properties, now I buy 3 properties, now I buy 4 properties. And if you have a way to manage all those properties in a very cost efficient way, then you can definitely make money that way and build a lot of wealth over a very long point of time, because you're not going to become rich on real estate overnight. It's not going to happen. Even if you're flipping houses and doing things like that and you're in a hot market, you're going to need a massive amount of money to start, or you just need to slowly build like I'm talking about. You can definitely build wealth, especially if you start in your late 20s, early 30s. By the time you're in your 50s, you probably have 3-4 houses that you're renting out, or those kinds of things. So you'll have a good amount of wealth behind you by that time. Now, the absolute easiest, and I mean, nothing's easy. You're not going to become rich easy in this world. But the easiest way to become rich in this world is owning your own business. Owning your own business by far. People I've known who have become rich in this world, they became rich because they own their own businesses. Owning your own business is actually, in my opinion, the easiest way to also be in the upper middle class as well. But for sure, to be rich, the easiest way is starting a business, because remember, you're getting all the profits when you start your own business. And until you start hiring employees. And for instance, with my business, I make so much more money than I would if I worked for someone else and I was just like a freelance photographer for them. Because they would pay me a wage way lower than what I get from my customers, because I get all the profit. Now, of course, I got to do more work because I have to find that customer, and then I have to please that customer and edit the photos, all those types of things, or the videos in those cases. But I get all the proceeds at the end of the day. If I worked for someone else, I'd probably get 1/3 of the proceeds of that job, maybe 1/4. I don't know. It's hard to tell. If I was to hire someone to do the same thing I do, I would probably pay him 1/4 of what I actually get for that job. 1/4, so 25%. And that's actually a generous wage. And it's not because I'm an evil guy or something. It's just because that's a good wage for a photographer, for someone that's working for under me. And there's so many people to choose from. And in most fields, that's the case, because most people don't have a mindset of an entrepreneur, so which leaves a lot of people to choose from, which is actually another reason why wages have been held down in the United States for quite a while, because there's so many workers to choose from, and there are not enough people starting businesses to compete with those other big businesses. If I was working at a fast food place, I can understand why the fast food places pay minimum wage too, because to get another 18-year-old kid, it's like snap of a finger. You have 1,000 to choose from. Who's going to get the job? It's nothing. So when you own your own business, it's just a great way to become wealth, because you control your own destiny. Unlike climbing the corporate ladder, you decide how much business you're going to get, because you decide how much you want to work, how much you want to figure out, how to go into this. There's no politics involved. Like when you work under a big corporation, there's politics involved. If someone doesn't like you, sometimes that means you don't get promoted. And that's just painful, even if you're the best person for the job, even if you're the most qualified. Sometimes it just works out that way. And you can try to take to HR and all those kinds of things. It's difficult. So those are the 4 ways to become rich in this world that I have identified. Let me know in the comments section which one you guys think is easiest. Maybe you have a different opinion than me. Maybe you think that it can be done this way or that way. And maybe you think starting a business isn't the easiest way to become rich. I don't know. I would love to hear your guys' opinion on this subject today. I was so happy to do something personal finance related, because I've been doing so many stock market videos lately. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, you may want to. I talked about personal finance on the channel, entrepreneurship. I'm an entrepreneur, and I talk so much about the stock market and investing in stocks. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.